everyone, my name's Anne. Welcome to Card Making Project 532 using our gorgeous Anna Griffin supplies. Today's card is a real beauty, and if you like shaker cards and you don't know where to start, this one is a good one to watch because I'll show you the process from start to finish, and I think it's such a beautiful card. If you like your feather embellishments and your feather dies, this is also one for you. So I think it could be used for any occasion. You'd be able to change the sentiment and change the stamp on the inside as well, because you know what, we all like our spirits uplifting, and even for a birthday or a wedding it would be great. You would be able to adapt it. Please have a look on my blog because all the ingredients that we use and the full detailed item list is always on there. If you want to see more photos, there's always photos on my blog as well. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment, or you can comment on Facebook. So sit back and relax and let's have a look at today's gorgeous project. So the items that we're going to use for today's tutorial are, now I don't know if you remember these, it's the old text words from Anna. We're going to be using the Good Luck stamp because that just fitted for the insert. You would be able to use any of your stamps, any of your embellishment stickers, sentiments that you've got, but it just so happened I thought that worked well with this. We're going to be using some of our feather dies. We're going to be using the long one at the bottom here, and we're going to be using this one here. So it's one with a swirl on the end and a nice long one. So those are the only, I would say, extra items from Anna that we're going to be using. However, you're going to need acetate and some crystals because it's a shaker card. Yay! I know you love shaker cards, and this is going to be very different to how you would normally make a shaker card. And I want to show you the whole process, so don't panic if you've never made one. I will show you how you put the foam on and everything. So we'll get there to that bit when we get to the card front. For now, the base card that we're using is just a plain ivory base card. It's a 7 by 5 inch size, my favourite size, and I'm just using my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice strong crease along the edge. So when it stands up nicely, she says it falls over, and it just looks professional. On the back of the card I've used my handmade stamp and I've added my name. So whoever receives the card will know who's made it. Now the first thing that I've done is I've taken a piece of ivory cardstock and I've actually cut it to size to fit our insert. I've tapped it along the edge with a gold ink pad, and then I've heat embossed it with gold heat embossing powder, just very roughly, and just to give it a little bit of colour, just something a bit different. And I think it just works. I like doing that for the inside of our cards. And I'm just going to add that using flat tape to the centre and press it down. Now I've had a question. Somebody said, everything you put on, it looks very dainty and delicate. The way you press it on, you don't press it on hard enough. Does it fall off? No, it doesn't. And I do actually, it must be deceiving because I do press quite firmly, so it isn't going to fall off. Next, I've taken, now this is the centre of something that we're going to use on the front. So it's one of Anna's foil layers from the set one, and I've simply cut the middle out of it. We're using a section of it for the front, so I'm not wasting any of it. I'm using the inside section, as it were, for the inside of our card. So I'm just peeling the back of it away, and this is where I've used the text stamp, the text wording, and I've just added good luck. So I'm just going to place it through the centre of our card so that we've got somewhere to write a little message if we want it. I've taken some of Anna's gold foil and I've die cut a feather, and it's going to stick flat, so I've added red tape on the back in areas that you won't see where it's stuck down, because there's certain parts where you can add your tape that's just wide enough, and so we're just going to add our feather, I would say about there. And then I've taken from the actual feather embellishment sets, there was something that we're using for the front, and I've taken one of the doves from it. So I've just taken the layer away and I've added flat tape on the back, and then we're going to add this to our insert with our feather and make it really pretty with the little bird, well, the dove. And then I can peel the tape away and add the bird roughly. I think I want it kind of on and off the feather and off the page and on the insert bit like that. And I think that's beautiful for an insert, nice and simple, and it's wishing anybody good luck for whatever they need good luck for, whether it's encouragement or something they're going to do or something they're going through. So I'm just using my bone folder again for the front of our card. Now we're going to make the shaker. So I'm going to put my card just to one side while we make the shaker element. So we're going to need our foil layer that we've got cut out of the centre. So I've taken that centre panel out of that. We're also then going to need some acetate. Now on the back of the foil panel you can see red tape, and we'll call this black tape. The only reason I'm using black tape is I've run out of white thick tape. You're not going to see it, it's not going to make a difference. This is just a personal thing. I'm out. So there we go. We're using black instead. But it won't make a slight bit of difference to what we're going to do. So for the middle section for now, we've got red tape. Now I'm going to peel the back of this away because we're going to make our shaker. And this is going to be the shaker front. Now normally I'm all prepared and everything's all done, but I thought today we'll show it all because so many people say, oh, how did you make it? And I thought it would be nice to be able to show you the whole process, so it might be quite long, this one. So this is my acetate, and what happens is acetate picks up fluff and various elements of day-to-day living. So just give it a wipe before you put it in, because it would be more difficult to wipe it when you've done. So we'll give it a wipe and hopefully that will help. And then where we've peeled the tape away from the centre, we're going to pop the acetate down and press it down. So that already has made the acetate window from the front. Now I'm going to add the actual tape to this. So what I've done is I've already started cutting some tape, and I'm hoping that you won't nod off while I do this bit, because we're going to go around it twice, and I need to make sure all my edges fit together, because I don't want any of the crystals falling out. So do each side as we go, and next take it from there to there. Now I'm going to do 2 rows because my crystals, they'd be too high just for one layer. So it depends what you're using, I think, and how much of a shaker that you want to get. And so the next row, we just go over the top of the previous row. Again, I'm going to snip the excess away and just take it right round so there's no gaps, and next piece, there we go, edge to edge, and snip, and last piece, there we go, make this fit in that gap. Really press the corners of the tape in when you've done them so that you don't get the little gaps, especially if you're using glitter. So I'll just pop that on there, you won't see that. So now we've got our 2 rows of foam around the edge. Obviously I've already put foam on this section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the base that we're going to have our crystals in. So this is a piece of card that I've cut. It's just ivory cardstock. It's actually from when we've done a project and I've used a card and I've cut the back of it off from one of Anna's cards, maybe the pretty patterns or the birthday cards, etc. So I'm not wasting anything. So I'm using the front of it, and I've taken one of the embellishments from the feather embellishment set. Now this is a sticker, she says, and all I'm going to do is peel the back of it away, and I'm going to stick it in the centre of our card like that. Now I'm just going to hope that's about right, isn't it? So I'm going to peel all my tape backs away that we've added for the shaker, and this will just take me a moment, so you might want to talk amongst yourselves. And this is where I say I show you start to finish, so you get all the boring bits as well, because normally I'm so prepared you don't see all this bit. So what happens is you've got the base with your image on, and I've got flat tape already on the back, and it's all prepared to peel off. And then we've got our image, our foil layer with our acetate window. So now the beauty of this is we take our gorgeous little crystals, and I know they're in such a decorative bag, and we are going to this time pour them in to this side. So we're going to pour in as many or as few as you like. These are 3mm AB crystals, and I think that's about right for me. Then we've got the tricky bit. We're going to add this to that, and as if by magic, because I've cut one layer slightly smaller than the other, press it down, and there we go. Now hopefully when I turn this over I can go da-da, da-da. Look at that, how gorgeous is that? Now we can add that to our card front. So I take our card front back, and because I've already got the tape on the back, we're going to add this, and I'm going to snip that little bit of tape away, just saw that peeking out just before we add it to the card. There we go. It's just a fraction, but you know what? We don't want to see it. Not on this. So we're adding our shaker front to our card. Press it down. Give it another shake because we can't control ourselves. And they will all just shake all over. And you can see the gorgeous dove in the middle and the flowers. And every time you tap it, your crystals will fall away, and then you shake it again. There we go. Tap it again, they all fall back down to the bottom. So now we can build up our card front, because we're not just going to leave it like that, we're going to add a little bit more to it. So the first thing that I've got is I actually took the embellishment that I took the dove from for the inside. I cut away the actual, I think it looks like a dahlia, the flower that's on the bottom of it, because I wanted the flower to go over the bottom section. You can see how the flower's there. So I'm going to marry up the actual flower itself with the design that we've got. So just like that. There we go. And I'm going to press that down. Then I've taken one of the sentiments from the feather collection, and it says, "May your dreams take flight." So you remember how we said good luck on the outside. So we're just adding that to the top of our card. And then I've die cut some of the feathers, and I'm going to add these just to the sides. I've got a little bit of tape at the bottom and a little bit of 3D foam just at the top, and I've cut out two. That's a Spitfire going over, if anybody can hear that. They have training. So now we've got a gold feather and the blue feather, like so. Do that a little bit like that. And then I've got some roses from the actual, I'm trying to think where they're from. I shall have to have a look at that. I don't want to say that they're from and they're not. And then at the other side, we've got a couple more feathers. I think we'll go just slightly to that side, and a gold one, and some more flowers. Oh, I know where they were from. There we go. It was the easel card kit. I had them left over, and I've got a little bag with embellishments in, and I thought, oh, they'll work really well. So I'm going to put that one at an angle. And then I've got a tiny rose bud. So that will just fit nicely there. And then I'm going to finish it off with a tiny little bow. Now at home, this is the time where you're all going to be going, no, don't put it there, put it there, put it over there, do this, do that. So what I'm thinking is, I'm looking at here, really. What do you think? Down at the bottom? I was going to put it here with the actual sentiment, but I don't want to cover the shaker too much. So how about if we put it there? So it's evenly spaced. There. And that is our card finished. How cool is that section? And how easy. It just looks so pretty, and I've got to say it's not doing it justice on screen, because those little crystals that are all just shaking about and catching the light, and it's only until you do that do you see them, because they're hidden behind the actual flowers and the feathers. Just such a pretty card. The inside matches the outside perfectly, lots of room for a nice long message in there, and it stands up perfectly. Look at the layers. Now this is something I must remember to do, is this, to show you the layers, because how pretty is that? That would stand proud on any mantelpiece, would that? And you would be classed as very clever for adding the shaker section as well. Please check my blog for lots more photos of this project. I shall do some nice close-up ones, and the item list, all the ingredients that I've used, I shall put a nice long list on there as well. So I just want to say really thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.